Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Nihar, studying in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Bangalore, in the Department of Computer Science and Cybersecurity. Today, I am going to explain you about principles of programming using C. In that, my topic is transversing an array. So let's move on to the topic. Introduction to transverse an array in C programming. Transversing an array means accessing each element of the array in a sequential manner. It allows us to perform operations on each element of the array. Transversing can be done using loops such as for loop or while loop. Basic syntax for transversing an array in C. As you all can see in the right hand side, there is a small example program. Start by declaring the array and initializing its elements. Use a loop example for while loop to iterate through each element of the array. Access each element using array index notation as shown in the program on the right hand side. Using a for loop for array transversal. A for loop is commonly used for transversing an array in C programming. Initialize a loop counter variable to 0. Set the condition to loop until the counter is less than the array size. Let's see an example for transversing an array using a for loop. Declare an array and assign values to its elements. Use a for loop to iterate through each element of the array. Access each element using the array index and perform desired operation. As you can see, I have pasted a program, a small example program for seeing how transversing an array takes place in for loop. Let's see another example for transversing an array using a while loop. A while loop can also be used for transversing an array in C programming. Initialize a loop counter variable to 0. Set the condition to loop until the counter is less than the other array size. Example of transversing an array using a while loop. Declare an array and assign the value to its elements. Use a while loop to iterate through each element of the array. Access each element using the array index and perform the desired operation. Whereas the process everything is same for transversing an array in while loop as well. Just we need to declare a while loop instead of for loop. Transversing a multi-dimensional array. A multi-dimensional array can be transversed using nested loops. Use one loop for each dimension of the array. Access each element using the array indices and perform the desired operations. Example of transversing a multi-dimensional array. Declare a multi-dimensional array and assign the value to its elements. Use nested loops to iterate through each elements of the array. Access each element using the array indices and perform the desired operation. Transversing an array is almost similar in multi-dimensional array as well. Just we have to declare nested loops for transversing of array in multi-dimensional. So let's see now how to transverse an array from the beginning. Initialize a counter variable example I to 0. Iterate over the array using a loop until a counter reaches the array size. Access each element using the counter variable. Transversing an array from the end. Initialize a counter variable to the array size -1. Iterate over the array using a loop until the counter becomes negative. Access each element using a counter variable, example array of I. How to transverse an array using pointers? Let us see. Declare a pointer variable, example int ptr as pointer as and initialize it with the address of the first element of the array. Use a loop to increment the pointer to the next element. As you can see in the like a flow chart, I have pasted a picture where to declare a pointer variable, address of the pointer variable, what should be the value of the pointer variable, etc. What are the benefits of array transversal? Array transversal allows us to process each element of an array very efficiently. It is useful for performing calculations, searching for specific values, or modifying array elements. Transversing an array using loop is a fundamental concept in C programming. Best practices for array transversal. Ensure the loop counter is initialized correctly before starting the array transversal. Use the appropriate loop conditions to prevent accessing elements beyond the array size. Choose the most suitable loop, for example like for loop or while loop, based on the specific requirements. Conclusion. Transversing an array in C programming means accessing each element in a sequential manner. For loops and while loops are commonly used for array transversal because they are the most easier and simpler method for arranging each element in a sequential manner. Array transversal allows us to perform operations on each element very efficiently. So this was all about how to transversing an array in a C programming. I hope you guys seen the full video. ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.